Right. Okay. Oh, and Kevin, Kevin Cho, I received your writing. I will get back to you probably this evening.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Thank you for sending that. Okay, so I want to just wrap up a couple of things with networking, and then we'll move on to the next part. So here's a really simple exercise. These are sort of typical networking expressions and responses. Kevin Cho, can you do number one?
Yep. Excuse me, could you do me a favor and pass me the juice? Pass the juice.
Sure.
And here you go.
Yeah. All right. Kevin Wong, please.
That's a great calling card. Do you like it? Our internal design people did it.
Good, yeah. Kevin Cho, please.
How's business in your part of the world? Could be worse. We've been through a bad patch, but it's picking up now.
Yeah, and that's, I don't know if Mandarin does the same. If speaking Chinese, you do the same thing, but that's a kind of very typical English response. Like, it could be worse. It's like you're not really saying anything. Not great, but something bad. Kevin Wong, please.
I don't think you've met Dr. K from R&D. I don't think I have. Hello, I'm Asia Han. I'm in marketing.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know how that. I'm not sure how that first name is pronounced, but the last name is Khan.
Khan.
Khan. Yeah, it's a kind of a Persian name, I think. And do you know this, Kevin Cho? Do you know
nope.
this? It's
exactly
called,
no idea.
Yeah. Okay. So Reykjavik. So just don't pronounce
Reykjavik. Where is it?
It's in Iceland.
Oh, have you been in Reykjavik? I live in Greece all my life, but actually I'm from Albania.
Really close. But that's not.
Oh, I was there not long ago, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, Reykjavik. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right. It's the capital of Iceland. Yeah, Kevin Wong, please.
I'll write down my details for you. Thanks. Here's a pen.
Good. And
would you mind me asking where you're from? And I've lived in Greece all my life, but actually I'm from Albania.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. And do you know Albania is a small country in the same area?
Yeah.
I think this was obvious. We should do lunch one day. That would be nice. Okay. So just putting this into action a little bit. I'd just like you guys to role play this conversation. So let's see. Kevin Wong, you can be student A, and Kevin Cho, you can be student B. So student A, you're working on a, hang on, I can't see this, the screen's in the way. You're working on your company's stand at a trade fair. So in trade fairs and expositions, companies often rent a booth or a stand where they, do some advertisements, industrial advertisements. And student B, you're visiting the trade fair. Are you familiar with this idea of a trade fair?
Is that a career fair or something?
Same idea. Yeah, there's I think a lot of industries do them. There's a place near my house that does them. So there's usually one industry, and they rent like a big conference hall, and then a number of different companies will set up displays. So they either rent a booth or a stand, and have information about their products and services, and people involved in that industry will go and have a look around. So in Shanghai, there's a really big one coming up soon. It's just called it's the International Import-Export Fair. So it's just for companies to set up, companies who are able to import products or who want their products to be imported. They set up this big convention. So it's a big networking event, basically. Okay, so student A is on the left and student B is on the right, and this will kind of tell you how to structure the conversation or the dialogue. So Kevin Wong, you take the left side, and Kevin Cho, you take the right side, please.
Left, okay. So where are you from?
I'm I'm originally from Venezuela, but I work in Brazil for Real Aviation Corporation.
So what do you work for?
Oh, I'm in the R&D department, and I'm a material scientist. So we switch business card.
And okay, and our company is working in the generation of plastics for use in aircraft. So
Okay, sounds
yeah, I think you might be interested in our new product.
yeah, sounds interesting. Because actually, I'm a plastic specialist. So maybe tell me more about your project.
Oh, well, our project is kind of a brand new idea, and you could, if you have time, you could visit our company. We are based in California and just near the San Francisco, and we could give you a deeper introduction for our company's product, and also show you our research and develop department there.
Well, that's awesome. And actually, I will be in California next month, so maybe we can exchange the email address and let's see if I can make it to your headquarters.
Yeah, sure. Just let me know if you want to come, and when you are free, and we could arrange the event for you, and we could also introduce our maybe head researcher that could discuss more concept with you.
That's great, and let's keep in touch and look forward to meeting you.
Yeah, me too. Okay, just see you, and it's really nice to meet you. Wish to could see you back in San Francisco.
Good. Yeah, it was pretty believable. Not bad, guys. I think that the end part, it's actually sometimes quite difficult to get away from people, you know, like to
Yeah, I don't know how to say. I have to go in a polite way.
Yeah, usually something like this where it's a big event, you can just say someone's expecting me, I have to get going. But you can lie, basically. So today is sort of two main things. So we're going to go into a new topic about international marketing, like it's in marketing globally, and then do a little exercise on formal and informal register if we have time. So when we say register, that refers to the kind of the style of speech. So, you know, a formal register is what you're using, just meaning using formal language. Informal registers. The register is just the linguistics term for them. So international marketing. So let me give you a little bit of an overview and then we'll get through it. So this was an international marketing specialist sort of famously said this not long ago. The world's youth prefer Coke to tea and trainers like running shoes to sandals. What do you think he might have meant by this?
So the young people prefer Coke rather than tea, and they like exercise better than going to a beach.
Yeah, but if imagine this somebody from Taiwan or China or India saying this, what do you think the meaning behind this statement might have been? Essentially what he's talking about is that tastes, what people prefer, are becoming homogeneous, and the word homogeneous means the same, right? So if you take like coffee, which is black, and you pour in milk, which is white, and you mix it together, it's not black and white, right? It all blends into one color, and the color is homogeneous. It's the same color all throughout. But if we take two different things, like if we take salt and we mix it together with something like sand, and they're two different colors and different substances. If we mix it together, it's still two very different things, just kind of and we call that heterogeneous. So heterogeneous means like all cleanly blended together, so you can't tell anything apart. And heterogeneous is the opposite, it means you can still see the differences. So I think what this guy was getting at is that younger people are starting to all have the same taste, no matter where they're from. So whereas traditionally they might have drank tea, now they prefer Coke. And go ahead.
Is it about how do I say it? Globalization?
That's the general idea. Yeah, that's sort of what he was getting at. It was sort of implied to be a negative. But at the same time, in marketing, this is probably what they most often teach in international marketing courses. Think global, act local. The idea being that there are still wide variations in taste, customs, behaviors, and expectations between consumers in different markets. So it's kind of when we talk about international marketing, that's sort of the challenge. Like we have this homogenous taste. Everybody, you can buy Coke everywhere in the world, but at the same time, every market's a little bit different and has to be changed. So if you think about whether it's a service company or a company selling a physical product or whatever it is, what ways do you know of for companies to become international companies, to go overseas? How do companies do that typically?
They merge a local company.
Yes.
And use their expertise.
Yeah. What do we usually call that? If we're talking about merging with local companies, that's usually one of two things.
What do you mean one of two things?
Well,
is that called merging?
Yeah.
Just like international merging or?
Yeah. Okay. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Typically, what companies, one way is indirect exports. So you stay where you are, and you use an intermediary. So an intermediary means between, and in this case, a person, a firm in between. So let's say you're in Canada, where I'm from, and you want to sell to Thailand. So you find an export agent that will buy your stuff and sell it to local buyers. They're an intermediary, a middleman.
Oh.
That's one way. Another one is direct export. So you just set up a sales office in wherever you want to sell, and they don't do anything other than handle local sales and income tax. And you handle the export and import licensing issues on your own. Licensing is another way that you see. So companies will sell the rights to use manufacturing process, trademark, or a patent. You know the word patent, right? So,
yeah.
Yeah. Like they'll sell their IP in some way for a fee or a royalty. I'm not sure who does this. I think originally Starbucks in China was all franchised. So they sold to a local company the right to use their trademark and the processes that they use to run their business and their product, which is the coffee, and they received a royalty. So a royalty means a percentage of revenue paid every month. So right now, I don't know Taiwan, but the standard royalty in China is 8%. So you get 8% of revenue before profit is the sort of normal process. I used to work in franchising, so it was my business. And then a joint venture, and this is what, Kevin, one of the things you were mentioning. So when they join together, right? So two companies, an overseas and a local company, form a partnership, and they develop a market that way, and that's called a joint venture. And then the other one is direct investments, which is just where you just buy a local firm, or instead of buying a local firm, you go through the process of setting up your own local company, and it's called a subsidiary. Yeah. So a subsidiary is a company under a company. So like you have the main company, the main office, and the subsidiary is the company below that. So they pay out.
Okay.
So these are the sort of the main ways into the overseas market. And then it's some people talk about it as a process. So the way countries tend to internationalize, so we have no, in the beginning they have no export activities, or sorry, the way a company internationalizes. Then they start by using intermediaries because that's the fastest and cheapest way to do it. And then they establish a subsidiary, and then they build their production facilities abroad, ultimately. So they think again, I'm not familiar with Taiwan, but in China, the car companies have sort of done this. Originally, cars were sold as imports, which were quite expensive. And then they set up subsidiary companies, which did assembly. And now car companies will actually build their production facilities in China, produce them locally, and sell them locally. And it's been this sort of process over the last however many years. And the same thing's going on in the finance industry with insurance companies and some brokerages, where now that they're allowed to enter China, some are buying local companies so they can just buy all the licenses and start their business. Some are going through the long process of setting up their own company. So some areas of finance are in stage 3 and stage 4. Okay. So in marketing in general, this is a more general quote. It says, there are those who satisfy needs and those who create wants. And these are sort of two separate things. So, for example, what's something that you need to buy? Just a basic necessity. I mean, food, clothing, yeah, okay. But can you think of any examples of something that you might have today, and you have it today because you want it, but maybe 5 years ago you didn't even think, it wasn't even something you were aware of? Okay.
Maybe some luxuries.
Sure. Like, any examples? Anything that you have?
I don't have any of it.
You have a very simple life. Kevin, so anything? Maybe do you have any luxuries? Anything like that?
No, I'm a poor student, just graduated.
Well, to my mind, something, for example, is like the tablets, like the iPads. I think today I think we could say that computers are a need. You basically need a computer to stay connected and to do your work and to whatever. But a tablet, I don't know anybody who only has a tablet. They have a smartphone, a tablet, and a computer. So it's a sort of middle product. You don't really need, but people want them and they buy them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of very effective marketing. You can create a need, or the kind of smart watches.
Oh, Apple Watch, Samsung Watch.
So they're not. Well, I don't know. I suppose everybody has their own opinion. I don't think they're terrible.
Actually, I just bought my mom an Apple Watch for her birthday this year.
Does she use it a lot? Like, does she like it?
Yeah, she love it because she's the guy that loves luxuries product, woman. So so yeah, so she like it.
Nice of you to get it for her. Yeah. But I think if we want to talk about it as a want, her life was probably perfectly okay without an Apple Watch.
Yeah, of course.
And now her life's better. She's got this thing that she likes, and that's definitely makes life better. But it was if we're thinking in terms of marketing, if you can create a new product and make people want it, that's one kind of marketing. And another kind of marketing is stuff you need. You buy rice and water, and you buy clothes, and these are all stuff that we have to buy, and some companies satisfy those needs, and other ones create the idea that we need something. All right. So major brands that you guys know that are international brands. So what do you think? What would you say are the top international companies? I know it's hard to say. Let's say in the top 3 or 5 in each of these categories. Where you guys live, since you live in the same area.
Mercedes as a car.
Right. What do you think, Kevin Wong? Do you agree? Is that like the top brand?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Mercedes and
How about clothing? I think that's harder.
maybe
Closing.
Yeah.
I mean, Nike.
Okay.
How do you pronounce Nike? You say Nike or Nike?
I say Nike, but I don't actually know. I can check, but I think people say both. Yeah. So, Kevin Wong, you agree that's the kind of top clothing brand, or among the top?
yeah, sort of
Okay.
for the sport area.
Yeah, yes, for sports. But if you want for luxury product, then I know nothing about that.
Nike. It is Nike. Yeah. Okay. That is the pronunciation. Sure. Yeah. I don't know either. The luxury brands are totally bizarre to me. So
Yeah, they often named after the founders.
Oh yeah,
Maybe maybe the Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger,
Tommy
maybe
Hilfiger.
the Yves Saint Laurent, sort
Sure.
of that.
Sure. Yeah, I think if you go to, I don't know, I mean, okay, must know as well. Like there's the high-end shopping malls, the kind of most expensive shopping malls. On whatever they sell on the first floor tends to be the kind of top luxury brands.
yeah.
What about? Do you know anything about cosmetics? Cosmetics meaning makeup.
Zero. No, nothing.
Yeah, I feel like I should know, but I don't. Electrical equipment. In this case, we mean electronics. Could be anything.
Apple.
Yeah, Apple.
Probably the biggest. And soft drinks like colas.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Oddly, though, Coke actually makes most of their money from selling water. Believe it or not.
Really?
But both Coke and
What
Pepsi.
water brand? What's their water brand?
Oh, what is their water brand? There's two. They might have different brands in different countries. Let me check. Because Dasani is their big one, but they sell Dasani, Smart Water, Powerade, Vitamin Water. Essentially, right?
I don't think they sell waters in Taiwan. Never heard of them.
That's an interesting question because they might do it. They might do it locally. Bonaqua. Anyway, I know that one they sell it here because sometimes when the names don't translate, because water is pretty easy to rebrand. You just put a new, it's the same.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So let's how do I get rid of that? So let's look at Mercedes. So where is Mercedes from originally?
Germany.
Sure.
How would you describe their brand image? Like what makes Mercedes sort of different from Tesla or Toyota?
The quality.
Okay.
The tradition.
Sure. They've been around a long time. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And who do you think their target? Who's buying Mercedes cars?
Rich people.
Guys.
Is it like the
High level?
Yeah, they're high level. I mean, are we talking about like, billionaire rich, or are we talking about, maybe CEOs, people that run a company, but are not,
Maybe not so rich, but richer than ordinary people, richer than Toyota, richer than Honda.
Sure. And can you remember seeing any of their advertising?
Um,
Oh, sometimes they would connect the car with the successful, maybe executive, and
mhm.
the ads show their daily life and how they stuff like that.
Right,
You know,
okay.
they always have a a confident smile and driving wherever they want.
Right, right, okay.
Looks so successful. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
looks
it's definitely
successful.
for rich people.
Yeah, I can't really think of any advertising. I think I tend to see them, they sponsor a lot of events. You know, in Shanghai, they actually have a stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Arena, but I think that's how they do a lot of things like, so, you know, golf tournaments, tennis tournaments, orchestra, symphony performances. They have, like,
That's
Mercedes-
rich people's activities.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, yeah, rather than on TV. All right. And let's compare that. We won't go through all this list, but we'll compare that to Nike, for example. So where's Nike from?
From America.
Yeah, originally, yeah. And what would you say their brand image is? Because I kind of see everybody wear Nike. So do they have a specific image or?
Sporty.
Okay. I guess what I'm wondering is, like, I know they focus on athletic wear, but I kind of feel like I see everybody from, like, you know, very old to very young. Everybody sort of wears it. I'm not really sure if they have a specific image or a specific target market. Do you guys
Just
have any-
for
Go ahead. Go ahead.
for exercising, equipment.
Right.
And they became more casual for
Mhm.
different kind of people, different kind of events. Could
Not just for sports. They
Yeah,
developing
not
their
just for
own
sport.
different product line.
Sure.
it'd be a way of lifestyle.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. And do you know their slogan? Do you know the word?
Just
slogan?
do it.
Just do it. Yeah, actually, out of curiosity, do you know Mercedes' slogan?
No,
No.
No.
Yeah, it's not as
we're
common.
not familiar with the
Yeah.
high quality brand.
Yeah, it's called, their slogan is the best or nothing.
Oh, it's better than just do it.
Yeah, but it says something different. I think Nike's is meant to be encouraging, like just, be active, go and do it. Whereas Mercedes is like, if you can't drive at least a Mercedes, don't drive anything. I think it's fair. Do you, I know I assume you guys don't have a Mercedes, but do you have any Nike stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah,
my shoes.
Your shoes?
me too.
And you both play sports, right? Kevin Cho, I think you said you like basketball.
Yeah.
And I know Kevin Wong, you've done boxing. Like, would you buy Nike stuff specifically for exercise, or is there another brand you prefer for exercise?
If you're talking about the basketball shoes, then just Nike and Adidas.
Right.
They are
Yeah.
the two, biggest brand in the world.
Yeah, that makes sense. They must
And
have.
they sign a lot of basketball players to endorse their brands.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't think of that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, they kind of own that. Basketball. But if you're going to go to the gym or something, are you dressed all in Nike, or are you wearing another company? Or you don't care, you just buy whatever.
Yeah,
I don't care.
I don't care too.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So this leads us to some. How do I get rid of that? That's interesting. 1 second. There. Let me flip this question around. So what are international Taiwanese brands that you know of?
TSMC.
Never heard of that. What do they do?
They do semiconductor.
Okay.
I'm not sure if this meets your requirement, but
It could
it's
be.
the most
famous. And
yeah, it's the most famous company in Taiwan, and their market share is the highest in the world.
Yeah, okay. And everybody's complaining about them right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Are there any others? I know a couple, like BenQ is from Taiwan, right?
Oh yeah.
oh, maybe Asus, Acer.
Yeah, because they're everywhere in China anyway.
Yeah.
And I think BenQ used to be a lot higher in the consumer market than they are now.
Mhm.
Because I worked with, they have a software development subsidiary in Suzhou.
Oh,
I've worked with them for many years, actually. And they're quite popular. Yeah, we'll sort of talk about that. And number 3, so this is, let's skip number 2. And then for number 3, have you seen any examples of companies that have adapted their, whatever they do?
Oh, I know. The Domino Pizza.
Okay.
They create a lot of Taiwanese menus for their pizza,
Right.
and yeah, I think they definitely insult the Italians.
What's a
Like,
Taiwanese pizza then?
like a block cake. How do I say that? 猪血糕, block cake. It's a pig's blood and made it like a cake and put it on a pizza. So yeah, I don't think Italian like that.
Right. Okay. I'm not sure many countries like that, but well, at least in the Western countries. Yeah, I think probably KFC and McDonald's as well. They would have.
oh yeah, they kind of sell the rice in.
Right. I know here you can get KFC breakfast. They have like zhou and the youtiao. You can get.
Oh really?
I think that's only in China, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't have Zhou
Yeah,
in Taiwanese KFC.
Right. Okay. Well, and here too, actually, right now what KFC is promoting a lot in their marketing is they have an Angus beef hamburger, which is, to me, is totally bizarre because they, KFC, and when I grew up, only chicken, yeah. And Subway, Subway sandwiches, that
Uh-huh.
They sell pizza here, which is bizarre. But,
What?
yeah, a little bit weird. So yeah, okay. I don't know if it's ever gone the. Well, I guess Kevin, so you're in New York. Like all of Chinese cuisine in North America is kind of localized to North America, right? Like it's quite
Yeah.
quite different. Okay, so let's do some vocabulary then. So there's 5 words at the top: brand, customer, market, marketing, and product, and they form. Each one of those words goes with a set of 3 words to form a set of word partnerships. So which word can we connect with these 3 words?
Marketing.
Yes. Yeah, marketing mix strategy.
Market.
Good. Yeah. So I think we just talked about market adaptation, changing the product or service to fit a market. Do you understand the term market penetration? What does that mean? That means?
You want to conquer another market?
Yeah, to penetrate means to go into, right? To enter, and then market segmentation.
Means you have a different target.
Target?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Product.
Yes, product placement, product portfolio. A product portfolio is a group of products in a product feature.
Customer.
Yes. What do you understand by
is-
the term customer retention? Do you know that term?
They kind of return back the
Yes, to
consumption.
that's right. That's right.
Oh, got it.
To retain is to keep. So retention is keeping somebody, yeah. Keeping a customer, have them come back or have them continue in some ways. For businesses like a gym, gyms or a lot of training schools as well, retention makes the difference between being very profitable and not profitable, basically. And obviously the last one is brand positioning, identity, and extension. Okay, so that's all of the word partnerships we just looked at. And for each one of these, one of them fits. So when entering a new market, a SWOT analysis. Do you know what SWOT stands for?
Yeah, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat.
Yes, threats, yes. Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threat analysis is conducted on a product, service, or company before deciding on
Marketing.
Market penetration.
Strategy.
yeah, strategy. Like a plan or a strategy, yeah. So you need to understand your market and how your product fits in before you have a strategy. Good. It may also be necessary to carry out a step, that should say a step analysis of a new geographical market in order to decide if changes be made. Step is similar to SWOT, but a little bit more high level. Have you seen that before?
No.
Okay. STEP stands for sociological.
Sociological.
Yeah, sociological means understanding society, technological, economic, and political. So for most things, it's not an issue. Like I think if you're selling, like, there's not a lot of political things that affect KFC. But if you're selling semiconductors, there certainly are a lot of political. So it's so it may be necessary to carry out this more detailed analysis in order to decide if changes are need to be made for
Market adaptation.
Yeah, I think that's okay. We have segmentation, but I think adaptation.
Oh, segmentation.
Yeah, like how do we break this market down and figure out who we're selling to? The segmentation, but adaptation is the right idea. USP stands for unique selling point. Unique selling point. So what do you do that your competitors don't do? The unique selling point is the blank, which makes it different from its competitors.
Product feature.
Yes, good. Part of building up a blank is analyzing the buying habits of consumers.
Consumer profile.
Good. And is how a product is placed, that shouldn't say places, is placed in relation to rival products.
Placement.
Brand positioning.
Yeah, in this case, brand
Oh.
positioning, yeah.
Okay.
Because you place the brand, the products are sort of under the brands. You need to put your brands.
Yeah.
Are we expensive? Or are we sort of whatever? Okay, good. And now we have this odd word out. So number one, which word doesn't fit?
Declining.
Market.
Good. Number two.
Promotion.
Good, right. Why? What's different about promotion here?
Promotion is like you give some best sales to attract customers to buy your stuff. For the questionnaire or surveys, it's like you want to know what's their customer profile.
Yeah, learn about the customers. Yeah, exactly. One's a sales tool, one's a research tool. And do you guys, do you have, I don't know if you have this in Taiwan, like, do people do focus groups?
What's focus group?
They get a bunch of people together in a room that are, you know, ideally people in your target market, and you show them the product, or you show them an advertisement or whatever, and you just get their thoughts on, you get their reactions, like on what they do. Like,
Yeah, I think they hire some people to attend.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
when I was a student in college, like we would all do this because you could, if you sign up for them, they pay you like $75 or $100 or whatever. You get a free lunch, and you know, I don't know if they do that there. Okay, next one.
Research.
Yeah, because all the others are ways of dividing. So number D, that last word is market niche. Niche, yeah. And niche means a very, very small segment. Yeah. So if we talk about companies that sell shoes, obviously everybody buys shoes, casual shoes. Many people buy sports shoes for tennis or for basketball. And very few people buy marathon shoes, like very specialty shoes for running a marathon. And that would be a niche or niche market.
What's the mirror what?
Marathon. Yeah. I think it's growing, but yeah. So basically, it's very, very tiny market, very specialized.
Okay.
Okay, next one.
Domestic market.
Domestic.
Good. Next.
Withdrawal product. Slogan.
That's right. And the last one.
Aren't they all different?
Yeah. Yeah. In this case, exporter for one, it's a little bit different. Retailers, distributors, and wholesalers are all people that are within the sort of sales chain. Like a retailer buys from a wholesaler and sells to the public. A wholesaler buys from the manufacturer and sells to the retailers. Well, an exporter is this, has a different function. It's specifically to move something from one country to another country.
Got it.
So there are a lot of stories in the marketing world of companies that have had trouble trying to internationalize because they translate their names. Have you seen any of these or heard of any of these? One famous example was there's a car company called Chevrolet, and they had, many years ago, they had a famous car in the US called a Nova, N-O-V-A, and they started trying to sell it in Spanish-speaking countries without changing the name. And the name in Spanish, if you just say it, it sounds like it means don't go or doesn't go. Problem. I had to, yeah. Right, okay. And I think these days, a lot of companies, when they move into, particularly in areas that use like characters, like Chinese characters, they have to be very careful which characters they choose and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've heard any of these stories. Well, I know like, I couldn't find the characters, but I know Mercedes originally had a different name than what they are now. They were, I think now they're Bentley, but they used to be Benz, and it just didn't. Yeah. That was their original name, didn't last very long. So if you think about, if you're working for an international company, what if they just do a standard advertising campaign, they run the same ad anywhere? What do you think some of the advantages and disadvantages of that would be?
I think the advantage, well, if it's an American brand and local people maybe admire American culture and they'll buy it because it looks so American.
Right.
For example, like when McDonald's just entered Taiwan, maybe people were crazy about their hamburgers. I don't know. I just say that's maybe an example. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you call. Oh yeah. Sorry. You go first.
What? Oh, I mean, you could kind of control your budget when you have the standardized global advertising.
Sure.
Like older people in Taiwan, when they heard a product is made in Japan, they will buy it because they think that Japanese stuff is high quality.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So some of the advertisement they even use the Japanese language.
Right. Would many people be able to read it or understand?
No, but they put the subtitle on the advertising. Yeah.
Okay. I could see that. Yeah. Indonesia, the typical way to do marketing in Indonesia is you use if you're trying to be a mid-market to up-market brand, you use an English slogan with no translation, but then all your lower copy, the body copy, would be in the local language. And you don't really care whether people understand the slogan or not, but they just see it. They didn't even translate it. They must be good. Okay. Do you think have you ever seen anything that, where the company didn't adapt it very well and, you don't think that idea really works for where you are?
I think the ramen in Japan is very salty.
Right.
But when it comes to Taiwan, it makes it more sweetened.
Right. Okay.
For the Taiwanese favorite. Yeah.
Sure. We'll talk about some. I'm not sure. Do you know any examples of products that have launched and then just kind of failed? Didn't really do very well, like international products. For me, in Canada, we eat a lot of donuts. Canada eats it's like the kind of favorite. We eat more donuts than any other country, like per capita. And in Asia, it's really hard to get donuts that are good. And I've seen there was at least 2 different donut and coffee chains from back home try to launch here, and they open a bunch of stores, and then a year later they're all closed and gone. They just have failed. I'm not really sure why, but it just didn't. Nobody liked them, I guess. I don't know if you guys have any examples. Yeah, all right, fair enough. What markets do you think are expanding in Taiwan? What's a market that's getting bigger? Something that's more popular now than it was a few years ago.
Oh, I think it's crypto.
Right.
Indeed.
How do people get involved in that? Or what do they do?
They have a lot of invitation code, and
Right.
people maybe will send it to their friends. If you start invest, you'll get $100 worth coin or something, and
Yeah.
Right. Okay. But isn't there a lot of with something like, because I don't know, I don't really understand, but what I do see isn't there a lot of peripheral stuff? I mean, there is the trading of cryptocurrencies, whatever coins or what have you. But isn't there a lot of other things like seminars and books and courses and whatever that people try to sell?
Oh, yeah, there's kind of an ecosystem for the crypto. So
Yeah, and maybe they buy some advertisement on newspapers. I think especially the website, some newspaper, they have their website and there's a lot of advertisement about the crypto trading.
Right.
They show these ads for the people who concerned about the markets.
All right, fair enough. Okay, and then the last question that we'll deal with is sort of niche markets. I would wonder if crypto is itself a niche market. Are there that many people involved in it? Or is it quite large?
More and more,
Right, okay.
I guess. Yeah. Niche markets.
Yeah.
Maybe football, because football is not very popular in Taiwan. American football.
American football. Okay.
Yeah.
maybe.
Sure. Okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, fair enough. For me, like if I do this, my music equipment, like people that play music are a fairly big market, and then people that play keyboard is a smaller market, and then people that play like synthesizers, like specifically, are even smaller, and then there's this even smaller world of people that build their own electronic instruments, from pieces. And I do that, and it's quite a niche market. Everything's a little bit expensive because there's no economy of scale. There's not really any advertisements. There's groups and discussion boards, and people talk about it and share ideas. So that's a very niche market. Quite niche. Okay. Okay. Well, fair enough. I mean, you guys don't have any hobbies that you do that like nobody else does, or very few people also do?
Oh, I like to watch soccer, but I don't think there are many people in
You
Taiwan.
mean soccer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people in Taiwan are not so into soccer like
Yeah,
Americans. They're so crazy.
Right. Okay. Like maybe Eddie and his motorcycle. I mean, that's got to be a pretty small market. Eddie says he drives a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
The
gotta be-
motorcycle it's more popular in Taiwan actually.
Right.
I know I know
Go ahead, please.
yeah, I know some people, they really like the motorcycle, especially for elder male, elder men.
You don't mean Eddie, of course, but I mean, like, aren't there like that kind of bike though? Like he has an Indian bike, or I mean, isn't that like a sub sort of category? You've got motorcycles in general, and then like some people have scooters, and then you've got like the sports bikes, and then isn't that a fairly small like a sort of this niche of the motorcycle market? Are people?
Yeah. It's for richer people like Eddie.
Because those companies like that, they tend to sell a whole image. Like it's not just the motorcycle. Like there's this lifestyle and this image that kind of goes with it, whether people do it or not. All right, fair enough. Let's get through that. Okay. Fair enough. So we've sort of used up all our time for this today. So there's same as usual. It'll be the class video and the international marketing. And as I said, Kevin Cho, I'll get you your writing back to you tonight, or hopefully tonight or tomorrow morning at the latest. And Kevin Wong, I was told you won't, you're going to join the Friday class instead of the Thursday class.
Yes, I have to leave early on Thursday.
Sure, that's no problem. Friday they start at 5. That's the only difference.
Okay.
That's fine. Generally speaking, that's totally okay. We do very similar stuff on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday. So if you guys need to flip, it's no problem.
Okay, thanks.
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thanks for your time.
Okay,
And,
thank you.
yeah, have a good week. I'll see you on Thursday or Friday.
Okay, thanks.
See you later.
See you.